Many incredible humans, high performers, high achievers, perfectionists, athletes fall into this very human tendency to want to have it all figured out, to need to know why. And the people that end up collapsing time, instead of trying to figure it out and needing it to make sense, they allow themselves to be configured, right? While everyone else is wasting time trying to figure it out. The people who move are allowing life to happen, circumstances to happen, life to configure them. And that is where their power is. Like, to not fall into the trap of analyzing and hyper intellectualizing everything going on. I had some powerful client calls today. An example earlier with my son, I'm literally building a movement called She Who Moves Collective because I realized what is limiting most people. Yes, I teach and live the be, do, have model. And so it's like, oh, everybody focuses too much on action. It's who you are being. But what I've realized through working with hundreds of women and watching the ones who just blow your mind with the results that they make, like in who they become, how do you become someone? Not just by thinking about it, but in being. That goes hand in hand with what you are doing and how you are moving. I remember when Forrest, he's been going through an ACL rehab. He tore his ACL back in August of 2025. He had ACL reconstruction surgery with a quad tendon graft on September 15th, 2025. He's been going through this journey. And he is a high performer. He is, I would call him like just a mega athlete, just incredible kid, incredible mindset, incredible grit. And after this injury, like anyone would, it was devastating. We all kind of like grieved the loss of his 8th grade season. And I remember him asking, and even myself asking, I was so upset. I was so, upset with the universe for a little while. Like, why was this taken from him? You ask those questions, even if intellectually, like there's a silver lining, like, he's going to get stronger. All those things that everybody says, like, it, but until you live it and until you feel that shift, like, it, but it doesn't land like for the people not walking the path. And I remember him having moments of like, why did this happen to me? Just feeling those moments where it was really hard. And I myself asked those same questions, but he moved, right? He knew unequivocally his vision, what he wants. He wants to play in college, football in college. He wants to play in the NFL. He knew that, hi, Ashley. He knew that like, I know who I'm going to be at the end of all of this, even though this sucks right now, even though I didn't want to lose my 8th grade season. Like, he allowed himself to be configured into the person he needed to be, to allow that circumstance to allow that circumstance that it did suck. Like, nobody asked for that. Nobody wants it. To actually make it better. Today after PT, what he said was, he said, and I never thought my 14-year-old would say these words to me ever. He said, Mom, no, this is not what I didn't think he said. He said, Mom, I feel so great and so strong. He said, I am glad I got hurt. To hear him say those words, I am glad I got hurt, I couldn't believe it that it came out of his mouth, because it was what everyone was trying to share, like outside. And it's like important that we share those things. You share your belief, you share the silver lining with people. I do that in coaching all the time. But like when people are walking through the shit, the muck, the stickiness, the alchemy, like that zone where you're in this void, you don't know how, you don't know what it's going to be like. You wish it would have turned a different way. To hear like, you're going to get stronger for this. Yeah, we get the intention. I said it myself to him, But inside, I remember feeling like, this isn't fair, this sucks. And today, I had a moment a couple weeks ago where I was telling the owner of Movement Institute, Kevin, I was like, for the first time today, it's not just a knowing, but it was a feeling in my body like, holy shit. I don't know why, but I know why this happened to Forrest. Like, who he has become as a human, as my child, as a son, as a student, as a leader, as an athlete, has absolutely blown my mind, and it's blown his mind. He would not have become that version of him had he not had that adversity. And today, he felt that for the very first time. And he said it like, oh my God, like I am the strongest I've ever been. I would have never been here without that. Okay. And so I share that story because, oh my God, does it relate to life and to business and to people, all humans, right? Walking through the fire of wherever they are and wherever they want to go. Life is always going to life. It's going to throw stuff at us. You can even have an amazing life, an amazing business, and yet maybe you want more. Maybe your brain is thinking of needing to know, right? I need to figure it out before I make the move. And that will be a disservice to you and your dream. Okay, let's relate it back to Forrest. Should Forrest have needed to figure out the lesson before he could really move on? It would have been impossible. It would have been impossible. The only way was to allow the universe to configure him, not figure it out, to configure him into the person he always had the potential to become, but literally just walking across the coals unlocked the transformation. The movement, becoming a person who moves no matter what and who lets everything unfold, right? Where it's when you're waiting for an end result, you are always in disservice because you will always be disappointed. When you're in it for the journey and for the becoming, and you make the moves that most of the world would wait on, you become a powerhouse. You become a powerhouse. So let's talk about this client, a private client I'm just working with earlier today. And how she's like, Anna, I know what I need to do. Why am I not doing it? Right? She kind of got to this point. She made this leap. She's high up in management and HR and corporate. She has an incredible salary. She makes great money. She has like free healthcare. She has a beautiful life, all the things, like a healthy daughter, like an incredible life, a wonderful husband. It wasn't always that way. She had her own alchemy. She came through a lot, right? Like she has transformed in every meaning of the word of the word transformation by doing this work, by becoming a new version of herself, by listening to the podcast and reading the books and getting coached and being in group programs. And yet, she even like did the branding and spent like multiple 5 figures on creating her brand and her website and her coaching business. And yet she's like, why? I moved, I put it out there, I launched my business, and like, why, Anna? I'm such a high performer in my job. I like crush everything I do in life with like so much fire. I move so quickly. I just overgive. And yet I'm not showing up for this. And I want to. And like, I know I want to do this and I need to do this, but why am I not? And I'm like, listen, sometimes people want to get stuck on the why forever. And yet there's always it's usually such a simple reason. The why is because they are more identified with the current version of themselves. Okay. And when we grow, when we're creating something new and that version of us, that identity is not practiced yet, it is a threat to the ego. It is a threat to all of the codes, all of your programming, okay? Like the hard drive of your brain, it's a threat to do something new, right? To change the way that you show up in this world and create results in this world and receive, right? I said, listen, we were talking about how she was saying there's so much pressure and yet in her job, and she shows up and she does a great job. And I'm like, listen, you have a strong identity of being an employee right now. Okay, like you're an incredible employee. Even though you're high up in your company, you make a ton of money, and like you are still an employee. Okay, so like someone tells you what to do and you do it. Like you have no problem, and you have no problem showing up, doing it, and just like blowing people's minds with how you do your job. Okay, I said, what an incredible, I see this all the time because I was an insane, just like this client of mine, I was an insanely amazing employee because it was a different identity. And it was my practice. Like I'm a high performer. I'm a people pleaser. I'm a perfectionist. Any woman that feels that way, you're probably an amazing employee. Why? Because it validates us in the way that we learned to be validated and in the way we learned to experience our own inner worth. It wasn't an inner job. We learned that to experience success and to put ourselves in rooms and to be seen and to be appreciated and to feel worthy, all of that came from outside of ourselves. So it makes you really good at being you're a really fucking good employee. You'll do anything for anyone, right? You are happy to like to put yourself out there many times at the expense of yourself, right? In self-abandonment, you don't realize you're doing it for what you want and for what your dreams are. You're willing to just stomp all over that to give to other people and to get the letter behind your name and to get the promotion and to get that next degree and to be seen in the eyes of the world and in the eyes of others as worthy. And that it has to be under a lot of pressure, and that it has to be hard. So you learn, like your body is very practiced in moving that way. And so I was sharing with my client, like it makes so much sense to me that you're not moving on this next thing like the way that you know you want to, because it is a threat to the current version of you. The old and current version of you, it's a threat. And so until you're willing to put yourself out there on the line, like to put it on the line, to have some skin in the game, to do something for yourself because you love it. She's obsessed with personal growth. She is an incredible coach, and yet she's protecting herself from signing her first client, right? You've got to be identified as a coach even before you sign your first client, right? You do. And she's protecting herself just that last little bit, because the minute that she does start to share her story and she starts to market herself and, you know, put it out there and invite people in to work with her, and she wants to use social media, it's like she's just avoiding it right now because the cost of being seen and being judged and maybe failing and maybe getting some rejection and actually teaching her nervous system how to create insane results that not only changes her life but changes the lives of her clients all over the world and changes the world. Like, she is protecting the version of herself who is scared to be seen and judged, and the version, her ego, her current self, that doesn't understand a different way to do it. So it's never going to feel good, right? But that's when you know, lean in. Not in any gaslighting, like, you know, unhealthy situation kind of way, but in I have this thing, this passion, this pull is on my heart for a reason. Nobody made me create this. Nobody made me do this. I'm choosing it. I don't need to stay in any more intellectualizing about why I'm not moving. You just move, right? You put the skin in the game. You walk across the coals when most of the world is waiting to figure it out, waiting to feel more comfortable, waiting to understand why, and you become the cause, right? And all the circumstances that are happening, whether they're incredible, whether they're hard as fuck, whatever it is, like, you rise to it. You rise to it. And then it has nothing on you, right? That's when you become unshakable, right? You don't have shame anymore. Like, you've got to slay that shit about what you really want and the way that you allow yourself to be perceived and seen, the things that you're probably hiding are the things that make you the most magical, the things that need to be shared, right? The hard things that you're avoiding are the actual things that will configure you to become the woman that you're trying to figure out how to be. And it just doesn't work that way. And it wouldn't have worked that way for Forrest, right? With his ACL. Like, he couldn't have gotten to the point where he was today in total ownership and in total alchemy. It's beyond understanding. On a cellular level, he fully accepted and like transmuted a really hard situation into his personal power only through action. Only through action. Me too, right? This is how I've made all the moves I've made. It's how I'm sitting at home and I've had the most incredible day with total freedom, totally in control of my life, present as a mother and a wife, coaching incredible women, starting this collective that for a long time I'm like, don't focus too much on action. You need to talk more about being and identity. But like, I have seen 1,000 times that you change your identity through action. You have to fucking move. It's be a she who moves. It is how I am here. It's how I've created a 6-figure brand and bespoke coaching business, because I didn't wait to feel comfortable. I didn't wait for it to make sense. I felt a nudge and I quickly moved. And I've moved quickly my whole life, and I no longer am like gonna hide around that. Like, I've always been a mover. I've always been someone who has believed in myself, like, relentlessly. Now, have I held myself back at times? Have I judged myself? Have I not given myself permission to pull up a seat to the table? Because I think I need another qualifier. I think I need to prove myself because some other person, right? Oh, she's doing it better. She must know more. She has more money. She's more beautiful. She has more experience. She has more followers, right? Have those excuses come into my psyche? Of course they have, because I'm human. But I learned how to witness those and not spiral. I refuse to shame spiral. I refuse to other myself. And that's literally like, if you've watched this far, you're like, Anna, sell to me. Like, bring it. Okay, where's my message? I'm like, it's time for you to move. It's time for yourself to give yourself the permission that you know you want to give yourself, but you're not making. And instead of trying to figure it out, let's move together. Okay, let's move. Join the She Who Moves collective. Whatever you're going through, whatever you want to create, where your brain is making excuses and saying that you need to wait and saying that you need to figure it out, understand that you will transform at quantum speed. Not even like 1-to-1 relationship. It's like 1 to quantum. When you move based on desire, when you allow yourself full self-permission to want whatever the fuck you want, to not be held back. Hi, Jenna. It's so good to see you. To not believe the stories that you're so practiced on believing about yourself and about your time freedom and about the money you have and about your marriage and about how motherhood should go and about how you can't quit your job or write this book or get on a stage. Like, bullshit. In my world, it's where are you at your edge? I am going to inject full self-permission for you to explore that through movement. We don't spend a lot of time like, why am I feeling this way? It's like, what do you want? Oh, you want this? Let me help you move quickly to become the version of yourself that experiences that reality you want. And it's always one decision away. It's always one decision away. So my client today, what I shared with her, and she was like, still trying to figure it out. And I'm like, listen. I know you say you know what you need to do, but you and I both know you haven't done it. Put some skin in the game. Put some skin in the game today and move. Yes, it will scare you. Yes, it won't make sense. Yes, it's going to threaten an old identity that is playing small, but we both know that's not what you want. We both know that's not even who you've become. Now show it. Now prove it to yourself. Now do it, no matter how uncomfortable it is. That is what I did again and again and again to create the business, the joy, the impact, the delight of living my life and the freedom that I live it in the abundance that I live it in the absolute joy that I live it in. And yes, it's triggering for some people. Yes, it's activating. And that only means that you want to give that to yourself in some capacity, right? And that you're not. And that you are believing that it has to be hard, that you've got to figure it out, that it can't happen quickly. Bullshit. Like, I call bullshit. Be a woman who moves. Understand that when you change your environment, when you increase the standard and the expectation of my belief habits and patterns, my standards for the way I care for my body, the way I love my body, the way I show up as a wife, the way I am a mother, and I'm not resentful anymore. I'm not annoyed. I'm not needing all these things. I'm not looking for, I need you to see me like I see me. I know what I want. I ask for it unapologetically. I go and be it. I create it. I take the action. Everyone in my community, every woman who joins She Who Moves will start to move, and they won't wait to figure it out. They will start to let whatever is happening configure them in the best fucking possible way, right? So I mean by that, like, you no longer are a victim to the things that shut most people down, where they're looking to prove that this isn't meant for me. She Who Moves says, bring it. I'll create it no matter what. Like, I'm willing to bet on myself, to believe in myself, to surround myself with women who are doing the same thing, because who you spend your time around matters. The beliefs that you normalize matters. The proximity to a mentor who has done what you want to do, who is living in a way that you want to live, who is living free, who is living brave, who has created alignment, she can help you get there faster. She can help you get there faster because it's already been done. You just like fall right into, it's like a Peloton and cycling. You fall into the slipstream, you are pulled upward. Did I ever tell you guys, this is getting long, but I don't care. Johnny did Ragbri in Iowa back in 2007, the year before we got married. And Lance Armstrong was there that year. And this is a week-long, 7-day ride across the entire state of Iowa. And one day, Johnny, he knew Lance was there. And he's riding. He sees this whole team. I mean, Lance has bodyguards. It's this whole peloton coming. Lance is, at the beginning of it. And Johnny goes right in. He's like, I'm going to ride with Lance Armstrong. Oh my God. And he starts pumping because you got to if you're not already moving, this is a really good analogy too. If you're just sitting on the side, you're not going to catch the peloton. You're not going to be able to get into the slipstream, right? Some people aren't ready for what you have to offer. Some people aren't ready for me and my energy. They're static on the side of the road. They're not already moving. Those aren't my people. They're not wrong, but they're not my people. So Johnny starts pedaling because he knows I've got to pick up speed to even be able to catch the peloton and get into this slipstream. And he does. They're going 30 miles an hour on a bike, you guys, up a hill. He's in the slipstream. Could he have maintained that speed riding on his own? No, he couldn't have. But when you are already moving, right? You have a passion, you want to do it. You're not just sitting on the side of the road, you're already riding, you're in it, but then you join the team, you join the peloton, you enter into the slipstream, you are pulled forward, you are pulled upward, and it isn't as hard. Okay, so that is this. Put yourself in spaces, surround yourself with people who are already moving in the way that you want to move. You'll know you're aligned if you just, you want to go, you want to move. If it's triggering, if you're just sitting on the side of the road, like, you're not going to join. You're not, like, you are not mentally or physically ready, because if you were, you would be moving, okay? So that is what She Who Moves is. It is a group that changes your life. It's a coaching collective where the frequency is different. The vibe is different. The expectation, the standard is different. It is elevated. We are going somewhere. Full self-expression. Relentless honesty and self-permission to create lives and businesses so good it doesn't make sense, right? So that our slipstream only pulls the right people in, the people ready for the quantum leap and who want to just collapse time and who are done saying, I know what I need to do, but they're ready to fucking do it. If that's you, and if you've been swirling around some things in your life, in your business, in motherhood and marriage, in your body, this is a life and business coaching collective. Like, you fit. If you feel the pull, you belong in the room because you want to be elevated. You want to feel that pull and leap. And you're done being surrounded by people who are still trying to figure it out, who are afraid to move. You're like, no, I'm ready to put something on the line. And guys, this is like the most insane price point offer that I've ever created. But I'm like, this is the founding group. It's 4 months. We start April 15th. We go April to May to June to July to we go till August 15th. It's 2 group calls a month. I've been saying, like, if you come to the Power She pool days, like, one day alone is worth 5 times the cost of the investment. It's probably more than that. Honestly, just the voice drops. If you just join, it's $444 for the entire 4 months. You get coaching with me. You get access to me in our Telegram group. If you pay in full, you unlock the Power She pool days. And it's in-person community, coaching, cocktails, calibration, mocktails too, calibration, collaboration, music, vibes, like inspiring each other, dreaming bigger and going for it, making the moves. Like, everything about this container doesn't make sense. And I judged myself for, like, this should be priced so much higher. But honestly, it feels so good and aligned that the founders group of She Who Moves Collective, it's the only time it'll be offered at this price point. It feels so good that it is what it is. I fucking love it. Women were joining before I even had the sales page written. It is a vibe. It is hot. It's time to make your move. Come with me. And watch things that you keep trying to figure out unlock before your fucking eyes. Okay? Okay. The link is in my bio. You can message me in the DMs. What else? I have a couple spots for one-to-one. If you want, like, if you're like, yeah, I'm going to join She Who Moves Collective, but Anna, I want like one-to-one coaching. Let's like just go right to it all in 6 or 12 months. Message me. We'll get on a call. We'll make sure that's the perfect fit for me and you. It is the highest proximity to me, the highest access to me, VIP days or day, 1 day for 6 months, 2 VIP days for 12 months. Like, it is you and me creating, quantum leaping, completely a different version of yourself than you've ever allowed yourself to be through this work, through total self-permission and having someone that holds you to your dream, right? That holds you to the vision and that won't let you quit on yourself. You're not going to, but that's going to help you do it in a different way, right? Gets to be easy. Like, you just get to fucking move. You get to believe in yourself in a different level and energy than you ever have before and show up that way before it makes sense to. So join the collective. I have a couple of spots for private coaching for the summer, and then I go on a wait list, okay? And let's chat soon. I love you. Thank you for being here. To those of you, so many joined live. For you watching the replay, thank you. If you listen to this, you're already aligned. You already know. You already resonate. Join the collective. Even if, I just want to put this out there, even if like you've been maybe watching me for 5 years and you've never commented on anything I've posted, you've never liked a single post of mine, you've maybe been in my stories and then you jump out, like whatever, right? Maybe you're just that lurker. I have had so many lurkers finally give themselves permission to like come into my world, and they've either hired me and work with me privately, or they finally join a group and they're like, oh my God, you have full permission to join, to appoint yourself part of this community, right? To appoint yourself part of the She Who Moves collective, and to let it blow your mind. You will get what you decide that you are coming for. Let it be so fucking epic. Okay? So like, just stop negotiating with like, should I not? Especially because some of this, like, I have people already joining that are not from Floyd's Knobs, that are not from the Louisville, Kentucky area. I'm in Southern Indiana, but like, I know I will have women flying in for the pool days. So whether you're anywhere around the world or right here in Southern Indiana or Louisville, Kentucky, and you're like, I don't know if I belong. I don't know if Anna, like, you do. You're welcome here. You are welcome. You've got to appoint yourself, okay? Like, appoint yourself. You are a She Who Moves. We start April 15th. Join, click the link in my bio, and talk to me if you are wanting a private coach and mentor to go quantum speed, because that's where shit gets like insane, and I love it. Okay, I will end there. Thank you for watching. This is the best work in the world. I am so eternally grateful for the way that the world is, for these opportunities that we all have, literally, and to my past self for giving myself permission to move in a way that I had never allowed myself to move before. And I want you to know that when you do that, like, the most miraculous things, the most badass things, the most insane, unexplainable things will also start happening for you, but not until you move. Like, literally not. And it won't feel good, okay? It won't feel good. Just ask Forrest. Just ask me 5 years ago when I like walked into my boss's office and said, I'm quitting my job. I'm going all in to be a coach. Just ask anybody who's done anything worth anything. It's not fucking easy, but like, we run towards that. Okay? Okay, I'm really ending. Love you. Bye.